Some anger on display at some congressional town hall meetings across the country.
I think Ms. Dobbs is going to be a fine secretary. Of course she is.
Everybody has the right to free speech. And what I asked was that you can holler all you want at me. That's fine. I'm the elected representative.
Shame on you! No shame on you! Shame on you! This is what democracy looks like!
There's no question that some people have had a very good experience with the ACA, with Obamacare, but most people have had a very bad experience with it.
That didn't really look like a Republican crowd, did it? Well, President Trump is also skeptical about who's behind these protests. He tweeted this today, saying, quote, "The so-called angry crowds in home districts of some Republicans are actually, in numerous cases, but not all, planned out by liberal activists. Sad." Joining me now, president of the Heritage Foundation, former senator from South Carolina, leading conservative, Jim DeMint. Jim, great to have you with us here on the show.
Well, thank you, Lou. There's little doubt that Obama's Organizing for Action and George Soros's Indivisible and MoveOn.org, these groups are actually fanning the flames. They're taking people on buses to these events. We've seen their manuals, and it tells them exactly what they're supposed to say. So this is hardly a spontaneous local demonstration.
Yeah, and I don't think many people are misled by that, but certainly there's to me it's an open question and an important one as to why the Tea Party, other conservative and Republican groups are not organizing and bringing their activists to bear to be a countervailing force with all of these Soros-inspired, MoveOn.org-inspired activists that are disrupting town halls.
Well, the Tea Party, Lou, had a very different mission. They were protesting policies, bailouts, spending, debt, Dodd-Frank, Obamacare. The left here they're protesting the election and the man that the American people elected last November. They're just having a temper tantrum because they lost. So it's not about policies that have been implemented. Unfortunately, Congress has done very little. So these people at the town hall who are saying shame on you really don't know what they're talking about.
They've done nothing. So there's perhaps they're correct and shame on them for not doing anything. The reticence, the obvious reticence, and I'm using a kind word, on the part of the House Speaker to move forward the president's agenda, whether it be the repeal and replacement of Obamacare, whether it be tax cuts. This is becoming a very troubling delay. The president is moving ahead. He's working hard. He set a standard here for work ethics that we have not seen in the modern presidency. Your judgment about what is happening on Capitol Hill, or not happening?
Well, Lou, this talk that we have to replace Obamacare before we repeal it is ludicrous. We had the best health care system in the world before Obamacare. Obamacare is a cancer on that system. We don't need to replace our health care system. We need to remove the cancer and then begin to improve it. The Congress passed a bill that repealed Obamacare in 2015. All Republicans in the House and Senate voted for it. They need to send that bill again to President Trump and begin the process of unwinding Obamacare. And then, once that cancer is removed, we can begin to make our health care system work better for everyone.
You know, I don't know if the Speaker really appreciates how foolish he makes the Republicans look here on the issue of repeal. As you point out, they had, I think it was over 60 votes on Obamacare's repeal or some part of it over the last several years. And then when it matters most, the Speaker is frozen, apparently clinging to his own agenda. Your thoughts?
Well, Speaker Ryan is trying to include some elements that will improve the health care system and make it work better, along with the repeal. And, that's a wonderful motive, But in this political environment, when they have no support from Democrats, they need to start the process, because, Lou, all these protests about not repealing Obamacare would be null and void if the House and Senate had passed the first step in repeal. Now all the argument would be, how do we make our health care system better? So they made a huge tactical mistake by not moving quickly.
Yeah, and I think you and Ed Rollins agree that it should have been H.R. 1 without question. Let's turn to the president right now, moving ahead at a furious pace. I mean, the pipelines, both Dakota Access and Keystone, the nomination of Neil Gorsuch to the Supreme Court. The man is moving at a lightning pace. Is there any prospect that we're going to see the House and the Senate join in that ethic and that effort?
I think so, Lou. I think the commitment's there. I'm a little worried right now. They took a long break for this week when they needed to be confirming nominees. The president doesn't even have all his cabinet, much less the more than 400 other appointments that have to be confirmed. So it's hard for Trump to get things going when he doesn't have his own people there. So I believe from talking to the Speaker and from the leader in the Senate, the commitment's there, but I have to confess to being very concerned that they're not working nearly as hard as we see President Trump and his staff working right now.
Jim DeMint, thanks for being with us. Always great to have your thoughts, your insights. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Lou.
This is a busy week for the president, who is speaking at CPAC Friday. That's the largest annual gathering of conservatives. I'll also be speaking to CPAC and joining Sean Hannity there, who's already, well, as he usually does, he gets there before I do. We'll see you Friday, and I'll be giving an extraordinary speech. It's going to be amazing. Friday morning, and we hope you can make it. CPAC underway